If I asked you how you thought Jean-Pierre Jeunet, who's also the director of the heartfelt and whimsical Emily, which continues to be the highest-grossing French film to date, shot his feature film debut, you would have to be thinking something like this. That's right, I'm Julian and I'm going to be talking to you about Jeunet's Delicatessen. Delicatessen is a surrealist black comedy set in a post-apocalyptic world where food is scarce, and it unfolds in a ramshackle apartment owned by a ruthless butcher named Clepet, who lures in unsuspecting victims to make quick cuts of them as an easy source of meat for loyal and paying tenants. Things change, however, when a new tenant, an ex-clown, Louison, injects a renewed sense of life and goodness into the building and some of its inhabitants, including the butcher's own daughter, Julie, who then struggles to find the courage to stand up against her father's and fellow tenants' twisted order. The film was released in 1991 to a slew of awards and nominations at various film festivals, most notably for Best Original Soundtrack at the Steiger's Film Festival and bagging a Caesar Award for Best Production Design. The things I'm also going to analyze today: sound and mise-en-scène, somewhat simultaneously. So let's start proper with Deli's famous title sequence, which occurs after an old tenant is meted, and grind our way through from there. It's entirely crafted into a tangible space using props for the audience to relish, and charmingly credits people on associated items, like the director of photography who's on an old camera, or music on a record. But they're all broken, and this is especially genius as it portrays our dear crew as being previous victims of Clepet after his most recent endeavor. This cements the film's context in a more olden time, with themes such as murder and cannibalism. Here the music starts off in a carefree, almost playful manner, with an ironic contrast to the memorabilia being shown, but it serves to reinforce not just a joke about the crew, but the uneasiness of the audience and the warped black comedy to follow. Two most memorable and also related scenes involve Clepet, his mistress, Louison, and a bed, but not all at once. In the first scene, Clepet's liaison with his mistress is captured in the up and down sounds of springs, and it echoes throughout the building, which seems to cause everyone to match the increasing rhythm of whatever they're doing to the point of Clepet's own climax, to which whatever they're doing goes awry. In the second scene, a parallel contrast to the previous one, the rhythm is steady and harmonious, Mickey Mousing the Hawaiian music and leading to a positive outcome. This parallel of characters and rhythm in a synchronization of senses not only engages the audience viscerally, but also hints at the eventual fates of the residents if they continue to blindly follow a dictator like Clepet, or move on equal footing with a good-hearted person like Louison. It also nicely foreshadows the mistress being part of the solution to Clepet later on in the film. Another notable scene uses a sound bridge by reverberating a bell to meld us into Julie's nightmare. This is further enhanced by a conscious choice to omit the background mise-en-scène, thereby forcing the audience to focus on the characters and their costumes. Furthermore, the monkey roars at the end, and this lack of fidelity highlights the metaphorical nature of Clepet, a lion Louison is helpless against. About knives. Clepet's shiny cleaver appears constantly as a motif for his version of an iron fist. Whenever it appeared, it seemed that someone wasn't far from getting hurt. Towards the film's end, Clepet hurls the cleaver at Louison but misses. At this point, the loss of his cleaver signifies him finally losing the firm control he had with his iron fist. He then attempts to use Louison's own boomerang knife, and karma comes back in a full razor-sharp circle. And finally, we also come full circle to wrap up our analysis with an overview of light. If you watch the film, you will notice how there isn't a single instance of blue sky shown. When outside, it always looks like an evening or night, and when inside you can only guess where the light from the windows is coming from, leaving everything cast in a questionable and dreary hue, and giving the entire environment the feel of an endless surreal madhouse or nightmare. The epilogue of the film combines two specific instances of music from earlier on, where the madness was suspended by way of innocence during a bubble scene, and romance during a duet scene. The children will soon mirror the new couple in a deep space composition, as the sky and all their future hopes and dreams finally emerge in a vivid blue. This film is more than just a major treat for the eyes. I know that now. And I hope you'll enjoy it sometime.